Hello, dear traders from around the world. Welcome to the advanced room here at XM Live. My name is Gil. I'm here with Stan. We are talking markets, we are trading live. And for those who are joining us from social media, YouTube, Telegram, from wherever you are watching us, do know we are having, if you come to XM Live and you have a link in your chat, we are having free channels where we stream every day, 8 hours per day for free, absolutely for free, in an advanced room, in a beginner room, and where you can learn trading and see everything very transparent what we are doing day to day. Stan, how are you doing at this very exciting day?
Hello, Gil. Very good to see you. Thank you very much. I'm doing pretty good. I'm very also excited to have 2 consecutive days with you. Yesterday, we have been together on the CPI. Today, pretty European Central Bank meeting. Very excited as well. Everything is good. In terms of volatility, it seems like, at least for the instruments that I have, which were the euro dollar and the pound dollar, that I'm still maintaining, they have died after yesterday's CPI data, which is that was weird. So in terms of trading, nothing new for me. How about you?
I think my trade went into profit. I closed it yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. No, I got a loss. I got a loss. Sorry. Sorry about that. I got a loss. I was expecting that markets continue to go down. They didn't went down. They came down the last. It's interesting because the Nasdaq went up, but the S&P 500 yesterday was also very slight green candle we had yesterday. So yeah, it went up slightly, got
We
stopped
don't
out.
really have a sentiment at the moment, right? It
We
seems
don't
like
have.
yes,
I
dollar is
mean,
getting strong, but the market is going up. It's a little weird everything.
I still believe that the main direction will stay. Main direction for me is dollar strength and markets rather going down. But we are going into a very special event, and this is this afternoon with the ECB. We have ECB decision, and I don't remember when we had just ahead of an ECB meeting so big of uncertainty if we will have a rate hike or not.
Yes, there is no consensus at the moment, and but there is no euro optimism priced in at the same time. Euro have been very weak for the time being, right? Or no?
Um, it's the last 2 months, euro is coming down a little bit. This is what we are seeing, but it's not coming down, with a strong momentum. It's like a walking down slowly within a correction of, I would say, from the beginning of the year. So we are in a range still from the beginning of the year. There is no trend whatsoever. I must say, again, I don't know if they raise or they don't raise interest rates today, but I think both cases could be translated into negative. So I'm not very bullish on euro.
What's is backing up that theory?
So if they don't raise, if they keep interest rate,
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's a soft signal for the euro because half of the participants they believed that it goes up, so they will be on the wrong side, and that's bearish for the euro. Now, if they raise interest rate, that's bad for the stock market, and that's when the stock market is going down, then the dollar is going up.
Right.
So I think doesn't matter what they do. I mean, if they would raise, I think we will have short-term up spike up in euro dollar, and then it will come down again. So I feel like it's a lose-lose situation now for the euro here.
Okay. I'm having a little bit. I'm actually in both cases. I believe euro dollar will go up today. Actually, okay, maybe not euro dollar, but euro against other instruments from the board because if we get some um, risk of sentiment and equity markets start going down, euro could be weaker against the dollar, but could be outperforming commodity currencies like Australian
Yes.
dollar, New Zealand dollar, even the Japanese yen. So I believe that no matter what they will do today, it's going to be strong euro. I think that too much of pessimism is priced in there, and if they don't hike, it's already priced in. So I somehow see more like profit taking, um, or buy the rumor, sell the news type of an event. Well, if they hike, it's not priced in. So in that case, um, it's going to be easy long. And I have a few setups that I like a lot.
So, but you say it again. It's long not against the US dollar, but long against maybe other. By the way, I have just an hour ago when I had like the beginning room session. You can see here, Euro New Zealand dollar. I am actually long. It's the only position. I took some profits in the previous session. Been short in gold. I've been short in silver. I closed those positions because I want to be flat during the event. But
Hmm.
Euro New Zealand dollar, I just went long.
I like it a little bit better versus Australian dollar, really. Um, Very identical structure, both
Yeah.
instruments. But in terms of central bank lousiness, Australia is an absolute leader. I mean, they've been very not effective for since the whole summer, since the spring. They disappointed twice. They didn't hike, and the third time it was not even expected for them to do anything, which was like a week or two ago. I cannot
Hmm.
remember
Hmm.
exact. I think it was last week.
Yeah.
So Euro Aussie, I like it a lot. Also, very identical chart
Hmm.
with the New Zealand dollar, rapid impulse, and the market is correctively going down against the previous resistance that could act as a support.
Yeah.
Um, and with equities going down, what you believe, this actually could combine and become very relevant signal. Even though euro doesn't outperform the dollar, here there is a chance. So I like it. I like it. Euro Q I like.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, again, but against the dollar, I think it's a lose-lose. I still believe the dollar will outperform. Um, by the way, I think also in both cases, stock markets could come down. So if they hike, the stock market can take it negatively because a higher interest rate is not good for the stock market. If they don't hike, it shows okay that we start to see other problems, not only inflation. So it can be also lose now.
Also at the same time, if you think a little bit about the broad picture, is 25 basis points gonna change so much right now? Mm,
It's never going
with
to change 25 basis
yes,
point a lot.
whether they hike right now and stop or they just pause right now, um, it's more or less the same thing.
It- you're right. You're right. That's but short-term momentum is still quite strong. And again, in
Oh
this
yeah,
case, because we are have 50-50, sorry, because we are have 50-50, the belief raising interest rates or not raising interest rate, there is a lot of market participants that are wrong-footed no matter what happens. So we will have high volatility no matter what happens. And by the way, just to conclude the whole picture also, we have tomorrow also a very special day, which is called, it's the big expiry day. So it's
yes,
Free Witches Day. That's expiry date for futures and options. It's the big day. It's once every quarter. Everybody is speculating today.
right.
Everybody is speculating, and therefore we will see high volatility. There is no doubt about to see high volatility today. That's why I reduced many of my positions at this very moment. I reduced those positions, and I, if I go in, I try to get in at a better price.
Plus, to add a little bit more spiciness into everything, we have the PPI data. which is 15 minutes after the release.
Yes. Between the release and between the press conference.
Right, right.
It's between the release and between the press conference. We can check this here in the calendar. Let's go to the calendar from today again. And we're scrolling down. And here we have ECB interest rate decision. Then we have PPI, which is an inflation indicator. And then only we have the press conference here. So it's in between. So there will be no doubt that we will have very high volatility, which creates good entry points, I think.
Right.
We will get good entry points here.
I think. I also think that we could get some nice and surprisingly, if we get um euro strength, it's a very good spot. It's too stretched on the downs. I don't really like oversold. I use it when I do analysis with particular indicator just because there is no other word that I could use instead, or overstretched, or artificially higher or lowered. That's why I use over bought instead. But euro is in very good position. It went down significantly, and against Aussie and New Zealand dollar, even to some extent, I like with the yen, euro Japanese yen. The problem that I anticipate there is that it's a little bit in the middle of the range, so it's not going to be so easy to trade it. And I'm not in. It made a false
Yeah.
breakout, exactly what I want to see, but I don't have the trade. It was overnight, so by the time that I went there, um, it evaporated.
Yeah, again, here I see a range, but I see a range also in euro dollar. It's like a very ranging market at the moment, a very ranging market. I find that the euro was maybe a little bit too bullish. So if I look at euro dollar, it was too bullish and it came back to where it belongs. Again, Europe, they go into a recession already. They're in a different place if I compare it to the US dollar. They're less aggressive than the US in monetary policy. The US was more earlier and more aggressive. Now they're later. But the only thing where they're more aggressive, the ECB, than the US, is they're tightening stronger than the US, actually. They're tightening stronger. So that's a good thing for the euro. But again, interest rates are much lower than in the US. US, we have 5.25%. In Europe, we have 4%, right? 4% we are. 4.25%. Now I forgot. But we are much
Yeah,
lower,
yeah,
and inflation is higher. So we have lower interest rate, but
right.
higher inflation. And I always like to compare where interest rates were before the financial crisis, because before everything got like strange. So, the US is the safest country in the world. So interest rate there should be the lowest, maybe with Swiss National Bank and with Bank of Japan. And then you have the
Yeah,
risk
with Japan
currencies.
recently, maybe not so much in the last
No,
years, but
I'm talking about what was before 2008.
oh,
They
all
had
right.
the lowest
Yeah,
interest rates,
right.
and then you had Euro and England around 1% higher than the US. And then you had risk currency, like they were 2 to 3% higher interest rate than the US. That's like the normal of pre-financial crisis. Then after financial crisis, everybody went to zero, so you didn't have this gap anymore. Today, you should have the same gap again. And the funny thing is, interest rate in the US is the highest of all
Right,
of them. It
right.
doesn't make sense. Also in Australia, interest rates are still 6%, and interest rates are much lower. You just mentioned that their monetary policy is very soft. But if you compare it, the European policy is not so much different.
That's right. Um, Thank you, Gil, for reverting back to history. I was not around by 2008. I was dealing with other stuff in high school, actually in university. And we have also a viewer from Bolivia. Buenos dias, saludos desde Bolivia. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bacas, Will Bacas. Everyone, you just feel free to, we're going to move to our original platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just feel free in any moment to click in the link so you will be able to see us again in the original platform that the show is streaming from Monday to Friday. And yeah, we'll see you in a minute.